Hello everyone. In this video, I'll walk you guys through Exchange properties, message headers, variables, and when to use all these data storage mechanisms in CPI, followed by a couple of hands-on demonstrations. In CPI, we have Exchange properties, message header, local variables, global variables, and data stores as different storage options. You can access Exchange properties and message headers via content modifiers. You can access local variables and global variables using the variable style in the monitoring area. We will learn about data stores in detail in a future video. Let's get started with the other storage options. Exchange property. It's a storage area present inside the exchange that's available during message processing. Developers can use this temporary storage space to store, delete, and manipulate all kinds of data, even the whole payload. As you can see, data in the exchange is available to every single step of an iflow, but can never be transferred out of an iflow or handed over to the receiver system. Message header. When a HTTP based sender sends data to CPI tenant, it sends a bunch of header into it. CPI deletes all these headers immediately unless you allow them explicitly in the iflow. Later in this video, I have explained how to set up this configuration. So stay tuned. Developers can store, manipulate, and delete all sorts of data using message headers, just like Exchange properties. But remember, headers will be transferred to other iflows and receiver systems. Make sure all unwanted data is deleted before the headers are transferred out of the iflow. Keep in mind, the target system will accept header values of size only up to 16 KB. So keeping your header clean is a mandatory requirement, and it also helps avoid security breaches at times. Check out this video to know how to delete header values. When you give a piece of information a name and store it for later use, that's called a variable. This is the best example I could come up with. Forgive my imaginative skills. In CPI, we use a variable to store small piece of information. Example, a token, a timestamp, a date, etc. The small piece of information stored as variable can be shared between different iflows and between different steps in an iflow, but only in situations where exchange properties and message headers are completely useless. CPI has two types of variables, global variable and local variable. A local variable is always tied to an iflow, which means it can store and share data only within the iflow that it was created in. Global variable, on the other hand, can share data between different iflows. Global variables are used when we need to share data between independent iflows. An iflow is dependent if it shares data with another iflow. This type of data sharing in CPI always happens with the help of process direct adapter. We will learn in detail about the process direct adapter in a future video. Message headers can be used to share data between dependent iflows. Independent iflows do not share data between each other. So global variable is the only way to share common data between such iflows. Local variables are used to share data between different steps of an iflow. Let's imagine an iflow that looks something like this. In order to share data from step 1 to step 4, we can use exchange properties. But let's say the flow looks something like this with multicasts. Separate exchanges are created. Hence, exchange properties become completely useless, and the only way to share common data between step 1 and step 4 is by using a local variable. We'll dive deep into multicasts in a future video. Kindly pause the video here and read through SAP's general recommendation. This will give you a clear idea of what we discussed so far. Let's now have a look at the configuration setup to allow headers from sender system into CPI flow. When you want CPI to allow a couple of header values into the integration flow, click outside in this plain area, choose runtime configuration, and paste the name of the headers in this field. I want the timestamp value to be allowed by CPI. I'll paste it here. And if I want more than one value to be allowed by CPI, I will have to bring in that value and separate it from the others using the pipe symbol. Save and deploy. CPI will allow these two values from the header, inside the integration. Now let's see how to create local and global variables. First, create a basic iflow as shown in this video. Once the basic iflow is in place, type variables, click on this, put it on top of the arrow mark. Having the box selected, you have the processing sheet. Let's add two fields. Okay, so what makes the first one local variable and the second one global variable is the tick mark here. Saving it and deploying it. Yes. Now let's quickly jump into the operations area. Scroll down to the manage stores. You can see that there are no variables assigned yet in here. In order for this to work, you will have to quickly come in here, check for your iflow. For the variables to be created, we need to execute the iflow end to end at least once. Copy this link, go into Postman, paste it and send. Now let's come back to the operating area, manage stores, variables. You can see two variables are created. First global variable, first local variable. You can see the visibility level is global and you can see the visibility level is restricted to this particular iflow. In order to see what is in the variable, click on it. So 123G, 123L denoting local. That is how you create a global and local variable. Let's now quickly have a look at how to call these variables into an iflow and put them in the message body. In order to call these variables into our iflow, let's bring in a content modifier, and in the exchange properties, let's call our global variable and local variable. We'll name the global variable as FGV, denoting first global variable, and FLV, denoting first local variable. The source value has to be the name of our variables, global variable and local variable. Okay, save and deploy. Now let's go to our monitoring area. Make sure our iflow is in trace mode. Come back to Postman, give any payload and send. Let's come back to the monitoring area. So we have 3 completed messages. Click on it, select the last one, check trace. Let's directly go to the last step, that is the end step, message content, exchange properties. You can see that FGV and FLV are populated in our exchange properties. Now let's also see how to bring these values into the message body. Let's come to our content modifier, save, deploy, yes, okay. Now let's come back to our Postman and send this again. You can see we are receiving the FGV and FLV values. We'll come back to our monitoring area. See, there are 4 completed messages now. Click on it, check the latest one, go to trace, go back to the last step, message content, in exchange properties you can see these values, and in the payload you can see 123G and 123L. This is how you bring the variables into the iflow and populate them in the message body or the payload. Now for the final demo, let's see how to download and delete these variables. If you want to download the contents of the variables or delete them, just come to the monitoring area, scroll down to the manage stores area, click on the variable styles. You can see you have 2 options here. One is to download the content of the variable and the other one is to delete it. We'll download one first. You can see a zip file is created and you can see the details of the variable in Notepad. If you want to delete the variable, just click on the delete button. Yes, delete. So that's how you download and delete variables in CPI. I hope you guys have learned something useful from this video. I'll see you all in another video. Thank you.